Sean Wickens here again with another edition of 31-ish horror films of October. Watched another recommendation, The Terror, which is available on Amazon Prime. Turns out it kind of wasn't really a recommendation. My sister told me about this movie, and I thought she'd watched it. Turns out she just heard about it, and she was like, oh, I'm going to try to watch it myself. But, you know, a half recommendation. Anyway, this film is really only notable for who was involved. It's directed by Roger Corman. Francis Ford Coppola was the second unit director. Stars Boris Karloff, whose face you will recognize as Frankenstein, whose voice you may recognize as the narrator for the animated How the Grinch Stole Christmas cartoon. There's a very young Jack Nicholson in this, playing a French soldier separated from Napoleon's army. Zero French accents in this movie. I'd even say that Jack Nicholson gives the worst performance out of anyone in this film. I read online that this was largely shot on borrowed sets, so I'm guessing, I'm just inferring here, they probably found a French soldier's costume, threw it on Jack Nicholson, and was like, all right, revolves around a French soldier. But the scenes that he shares with Boris Karloff, I would say Boris Karloff's performance is head and shoulders above young Jack Nicholson, who, of course, went on to a great career. Anyway, the story is about a soldier who wakes up on the beach and sees a woman who we later find out is sort of a ghost. She's the deceased wife of Boris Karloff, who plays a baron, but he's really not the baron, turns out. He's kind of the son of this woman who lives in town, who made a pact with the devil. It's all very... the story's sort of all over the place. Again, it's mostly notable for who's in it. I wouldn't say this is a must-watch. It's if this were on Mystery Science Theater, I think that's the ideal way to view this, or if it was on sort of a Saturday morning horror movie host kind of thing. I grew up watching Big Chuck and Little John in Cleveland, Ohio. I feel like this is the perfect vehicle for that kind of thing. Yeah, so there you have it, The Terror. There's some great shots in a graveyard, I'll say that. The sets they reused, they found some great ones. Let's see. If you get a chance, if you have any of your own films, you can submit it to Bad Film Fest, which is on Film Freeway right there. You can also find it through badfilmfest.com. We'll have news very soon about Bad Theater Fest in New York, probably December, hopefully, fingers crossed, most likely. And tune in tomorrow for another horror film review. Happy Halloween.